everybody, Jonathon Tink, PGG WRIGHTSON SEEDS. Just pulled up here in Tamworth, about to head out and catch up with a good client of ours that produces a lot of Lucerne hay. Let's go for a ride and go out and meet this guy. Hey Wade, how are you, mate? With Wade Jordan of Jordan Family Partnership Hay Production here at Nebingar. So how many years have you been on this particular farm or in this area for, Wade?
This particular farm, we've only owned it for about 4 years.
Yep.
In the area, we're third generation.
Okay.
My grandparents had a dairy farm the other side of town, and then when they sold up, they moved into Lucerne production.
Yep. So when did that start, Wade?
That would have been back in the early 50s, I suppose.
Yep.
And and then it's been rolling on ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I think our 75, 80 years in the one family,
yep.
Our home place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we leased a lot of country, and plus we're starting to buy a little bit.
Okay.
Produce products for the equine market.
Yep.
Contracts in place, providing hay for a chain of produce stores.
Mm-hmm.
Annually we produce between 70 and 80,000 small bales.
Yep.
Plus 4B3s.
Okay.
That varies from year to year, but we try to put mainly cow hay grades into the big squares.
Yep.
And cereal hays.
Mm-hmm. How many bales have you got around you at present in a tough year?
Mate, what's left in the shed is about 21 or 2,000.
Yep.
Which hopefully will be delivered by end of September.
Yep.
And we'll roll into the new season.
Yep.
Providing we've got water.
Yep. What are your allocations looking like for this year, Wade?
0 out of the river,
mm-hmm.
and hopefully 51% out of our groundwater system.
Yep. So how many wells have you got in through the farms here?
Mate, 3 bores,
mm-hmm.
2 of which are very good, 1's mediocre.
Yep.
Our river allocation will be 0 at the start of this year.
Wow. What was it 3 years ago?
Mate, we got close to 100%.
So Wade, what would be your key tips for anybody wanting to grow lucerne in the Australian environment?
Mate, water management.
Yep.
Irrigation timing. Get the most out of in our system, to get the most out of lucerne, it's imperative that your timing of irrigation is spot on.
Yep.
There are times where we aren't, and you'll see that in our yields.
Yep.
I think that's the most important thing. Obviously your weed controls,
mm-hmm.
And fertility. Soil fertility is very important because lucerne is such a big user of nutrients. You need to keep on top of that. And also using varieties that suit your area.
Mm-hmm.
Not all lucerne varieties are going to suit every area. We've been lucky. We've done some trials with your company, WRIGHTSONS, and they trial plant varieties that we'd grown in the past alongside their varieties, and it was good to see the differences across the board. So
how do you find having the trials on your place? Have they impacted on your decisions in terms of varieties?
Yes, they have.
Yep.
We've been able to see that what varieties better suit where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously those trials were run under the same conditions as our
Paddock
operation were.
Yep.
And it was just good to see.
Mm-hmm.
So we have changed varieties in accordance with what trial work that was done on our place.
Okay, well it's always handy for you to see what grows in your own environment, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We've moved to newer varieties, more winter active varieties. We've got to get away from the old thinking that lucerne plants got to last you 5 and 6 years. We now work on 3 years of full production. In the end of the 3rd season, we'll direct drill oats or ryegrass into the 4th year to take it through for a couple of spring cuts and then spray it out.
Yep.
And fallow it out.
Fallow it. How long do you normally fallow it for?
Mate, we take it out for a season, so we fallow it out and then with another
straight
cereal crop.
Yep. How have you found the Haymaster 9 suits your operation?
Suits it very well.
Yep.
We get that early spring growth because it's been winter active. We actually get a lot more growth in the spring than the older varieties, and we'll get a higher yielding last cut as well as the temperatures cool down. So the fit of it is very good for what we do now.
Okay. What sort of averages have you been averaging out of the Haymaster 9 cut wise?
Mate, this year everything's been down.
Yep.
So we're probably back to about 50 bales to the 50 bales to the acre. Season before, Haymaster 9 was giving us anywhere from 65 to 75.
What about the year before that when it was still in the infancy stage?
Mate, it was actually the best. Probably it was close to getting close to 80 bales to the hectare.
Acre or hectare?
Acre, sorry, mate.
Yep, that's fine. What have you found that have been the biggest changes in the way you've done business in the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, technology, mate. We've invested heavily in trying to improve our efficiencies.
Yep.
Keep our labour down and become a little bit more automated.
Yep. So how are you doing that, in what respect?
Mate, mainly through a machine we brought in from Canada called the Bale Baron.
Yep.
Just takes all the handling out of the hay.
Yep. So when you're cutting your lucerne hay, Wade, what's the key trigger mechanism for when you cut? Is it days after water? Is it bud burst? Is it flowering? Finding that the Haymaster 9 and those highly winter active types are starting fresh bud burst at the base, or
That's
is that
correct?
Yep.
And then obviously we mow higher so as not to take them out.
So how high would you be cutting, Wade?
Mate, we're about 3 inches.
Yep.
3 or 4 inches.
Keep talking.
And that way, as that crop comes off, the new one's already started. Go any lower than that, and then you set the plant back too far.
Yep. So what have we got here in this paddock, Wade?
This is Haymaster 7. We're going. It's just finished its 2nd season, so this will be its 3rd season coming up now. Mate, we've had good results out of it. Yields been acceptable in a tough year. Yeah, no, it's been a good all-round performer. Obviously not as much winter growth as the 9s, but it has fitted this block. Yep.
So what differences do you really find between the 7s and the 9s in your experience in this valley?
Mate, just more that winter growth, that early spring growth. We're getting more of that, obviously, as the 9s will take off a lot quicker than the 7s.
Yep.
And then moving at the back end of the season's the same.
So extending, picking up an extra cut or something at the other end there?
Yes, yep. That's correct. And the 9s give you an option of a silage cut during the winter.
Yep.
We don't do a lot of silage, if we do any, it's only generally for our own use anyway.
Yep.
So we're not aiming for that market.
Yeah, so you're more after the hay market there. So the 9s really suit you from that early spring growth and also that quantity at the other end there.
Yes.